Hey everyone, welcome back to the Stay True Committed podcast. I am your host, Karen, and I am glad to be back. You guys, we are in the month of April. We are on the second week of April, and this is our first time being back in this month. And I know that there's a lot of things that in store. I don't know how many of you love spring. I know we all have our different favorite seasons, but it's something special about the season of spring. I know some people like summer, they like winter and fall, but it's something very dear and special about spring. I feel like spring bring great showers. Sometimes there are certain things in our lives where we're not so happy about, but you know, like we all know, well, maybe some of us know, like we all know that there's a season and a time for everything. And I do have just this great feeling inside that April is bringing new showers, that is bringing good showers, but we have to be mindful of being in control over our own showers of what comes in our life and the things that are in our life. How to uh, get rid of or detox the things in our life. So this month, you guys, we are going to be discussing um, detoxing, what it is to detox things in your life. We're not going to be only talking about the physical sense, like detoxing our bodies and cleansing our bodies and putting the right things in our bodies. We're also going to have segments and talk about health and wellness as well, but we want to talk about detoxing and getting rid of some of those wasteful things in our life that is not bringing us any good in this season. And so today, you guys, we are here live um, on the podcast. Yes, we are live via YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitter, you guys. And so, for those of you who definitely would like to hear this link, it will definitely be up for you to replay this back. Thank you guys for coming back, supporting the Stay True Committed podcast. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for sharing. And thank you guys out there for rating. We will be celebrating 2 years in May, you guys, May the 19th. So I'm excited, and we're going to do something different too. So I will keep you guys in the loop about that. So today I want to talk about relationships. This we're going to talk about detoxing as a single woman in waiting. And I know some of us out there, we date differently. Some of us, we are not dating because sometimes I feel like when some of us don't date, we're just trying to prepare ourselves to date the way that we used to not date. So the way that we dated before, maybe there's some things that we need to change. Maybe there's some things that we need to change, like our environment, our surroundings, even the people that we are entertaining. So let's start to talk about detoxing relationships and what we need to keep in counter of. I just want to give some tips for you, for every single person out there today. Yes, me, and I'm talking to you too. Yes, I do coach women, not just single women. I do coach women. I was getting ready to say that, but this podcast segment is for single men too that wants to find the right woman to be his wife. So what do we need to detox as a single woman? Just from my perspective, as a single woman when dating, I started dating differently when I became in my 30s. When I was in my 30s, I started dating a different way. And even with dating, there were still some things that I wasn't sure about myself. But when you start dating, you need to be sure of who you are. You need to check your identity. You need to be authentic and you need to be yourself. And you don't have to conform to anybody else just so that person will like you. That person has to like your standards. They have to like your boundaries, and they have to like you for who you are and the person that you are. They have to love your characteristics They have to love your flaws. And again, like I said, some of us, we hold standards, and standards are important. Boundaries are important. And I know some of us have not always done that. Let's just be truthful. A lot of us have not always done that. But guess what? We don't have to stay there. We want to change some things about dating and or the people that that we're dating. Again, like I said, it goes back to knowing who you are authentically, identifying yourself, and knowing that you don't have to conform, and that you don't have to settle, and that you don't have to diminish yourself for anyone else. And I just want to get back to when I started dating. When I was just dating freely. And I say that because when I say dating freely, I was dating whoever I wanted to and going out whoever I wanted to be with. And if I wanted to do something, if they wanted to do something, or go out or go on a trip, or stay at the house late, or spend a night over the house, let's be real, I would do that because I was like, okay, let's give this a try. But sometimes when we try things that we know that we're not supposed to do, we don't think about it because we think about the fact of liking that person or wanting that person to like us back. And even though we may be feeling that okay, I'm saying something wrong, or I'm doing something that may be wrong, but let me just go ahead and do it. Let me just go ahead and try. Deep down inside, when you don't feel comfortable about going certain places, or saying certain things, or doing certain things. So, like I said, I was a person that was dating freely, and I chose when I got in my 30s, when I turned in my 30s, I decided that, hey, the way I dated in my 20s, and I'm gonna say some early 30s, because when I got to my middle 30s, I was like, something is not working. I had to realize that I didn't have to settle, and there were times where I was settling, and I know that most of us have been there or done that. And I also want to talk to the single young ladies too. Um, and what I want to say is that it's okay, because everyone wants to be loved. I'm saying it's okay if you have made mistakes. It's okay if you have dated Tom, Harry, and Bob, and you did everything for them in the relationship, that you care for them, and whatever they wanted to do, you did, but you didn't have an opinion or say so in the relationship. It's okay, because we have to learn from our mistakes. But again, like I said, if you're in a situation like that, you do not have to stay there. You don't have to always sleep with someone just so they can like you, because that's a myth, and that is false. That is not facts. That someone will like you if you go ahead and sleep with them or give this person your body. And what I want to encourage the single ladies out there is that you are worthy. You do have standards, you do have boundaries. If you are uncomfortable, if that person that you're dating or that you're thinking about dating don't like you for who you are, and then that means that person is not worthy to be with you in the long run for eternity. Most of us women, we are dating for the intent to get married. As for me, myself, my goal is to date for the intent to get married. Maybe some women don't want to get married, some men don't want to get married, and I understand that that's their preference. But if you are dating someone that has no intentions of waiting on you and waiting for sex, or waiting to get married, if they don't believe in the same things that you believe in, if they don't hold dear to your standards, and then that's a no. And that's something that we have to understand. Be comfortable with not giving yourself away freely. And when I say give away yourself freely, I'm not just talking about sleeping with someone, because I know that a lot of times when we talk about certain things in relationships, a lot of people think, oh, well, he or she just talking about actually getting in bed with someone. No, that's not the only thing that I'm talking about. I'm talking about entertaining people that don't have your best interests at heart. They don't really care anything about what you like. They don't care about what's your favorite color, what's your favorite movie, what color your eyes, your hair. I mean, little things that a person pay very good attention detail. Let me just tell you something. The Lord And I know that, some of us are believers and some of us are not, but I still want you guys to hear me out. The Lord pays every attention to detail to you because he's your child. So that's the way that you want someone that you want to spend the rest of your life with, or the person that you're dating. You want them to pay it. They want you to pay attention. You want them to pay attention to you just that way. If they don't know anything about you and they just want to swing through at night or just want to see you and go out with you and hang out with you when they get ready, that's not right. But some of us, and I've been there, some of us have ignored the fact. We have ignored the fact of that because we liked the person and we wanted the person to like us. So we ignored the fact and we kept on dating the person and we kept going out with the person or whatnot. And we noticed that things got worse. And things get worse, and then that person started being exposed. And sometimes we ignore the red flags because we want, this to work or whatnot. But guess what? It doesn't get any better because you can't make anyone like you. You can't make anyone submit to you, and you can't change another person's characteristics. You can't change their personality. You cannot change their integrity. They are who they are, and when they show you who they are, we need to recognize that. And so we need to detox some of the relationships in our lives. If you're still holding on to some things, and if you're still holding on to that person, even as a friendship, and you may not even be going exclusively dating or actively going out with this person, but you need to detox that relationship. There are some conversations that you don't need to have. And it goes all the way back to knowing who you are. And if you don't care about how people treat you or do you, and then this is probably not for you, you're probably fine with it. But if you care who you are and you know you deserve to be loved and treated with respect, and then in that relationship and while you're dating, and even if you are in a relationship, these are the signs that you need to check for. Like, can I spend a lifetime with that person? Does he value my standards? Does he value my boundaries? Um, Even though you two may be different, can he be honest with you? I think it's more respectful and more attractive when somebody lets you know up front, uh, I'm not there. I'm not where you're at, but I'm willing to sacrifice and be a better person to see where our relationship goes. If they can be honest and truthful and be like, hey, I may not be practicing what you practice. And some of us, we do practice abstinence. And if you're not practicing abstinence, I'm not beating you up and I'm not beating you down. But what I do know, because I was once there, is that if you want to learn to live an abstinence life until you meet your soulmate and your spouse or whatnot, you can do it. It's never too late. It's not. You can be living with someone. It's not too late to do the right thing. Um, and I'm saying this from experience because I've been there. And if you want to do the right things and you know what to do that's right, you're going to do the right things. And you want to feel better about yourself. You want to feel confident about what you're doing. You don't want to settle. You don't want to conform to anybody's standards. You want to do what you do. And like I said, we need to have these conversations and we need to encourage and help one another. And like I said, be sure of who you're dating. Get all those questions out. Get all those questions out. Ask those questions that you think may not be so comfortable. You have to have those conversations, while you're dating. And like I said, if you're in a relationship where you're still uncomfortable, and you're going one way and this person is going another way, and then that relationship just may not be right for you. And so that's where we need to detox the relationships. We need to detox the conversations. We need to detox what is hindering us as a single person. Because if you are playing around with relationships that that is not your soulmate, and that that you're not going to be with in eternity, the person that is supposed to be with you is going to look in the other direction. and they're gonna look the other way because you're still not sure what you want and you're not sure who you are, and so that's why you're entertaining different dating uh, uh, different dating relationships because you're not sure of yourself. And that's why I said it always goes back to knowing who you are, knowing your purpose, um, identifying your standards, identifying your boundaries, and standing up to your boundaries. If a person can't accept who you are, they need to they you need to detox them out of your life. And it doesn't mean you have to do it in a harsh way. You can wish that person well, and sometimes people say, well, I can remain friends still with this person even though we're not together. Sometimes it don't always work that way because some of us we have triggers and stuff like that. Sometimes I know it feels uncomfortable uncomfortable for us to be alone at times, but it gets better. It gets better. There are so many things, there are so many outlets that we have that we can go to that is positive. I'm gonna say that positive outlets that we can do as single women and even single men. Men need this too. There's so many positive outlets, and so many positive people that we can engage ourselves around to help us through this journey. But if you know that you desire to get married and you desire to do the right things, do that. Do that and know that it's not too late. I don't care what situation that you may be in. Know that it's not too late to do the right thing. And a lot of us, even when you're dating, you're building friendships, you're getting to know different people. So that's why I say ask those important questions, up front. Know where that person's vision is at, and that person gotta has a vision and a purpose, or they can't lead you. So if they're not sure of their identity, if they're not sure of themselves, and then hey, I gotta, go to the next round, try again, because dating is like taking applications, and it's a process. It is a process. Everything that we do is a process, and so, like I said, nobody knows what situation you're in, but know that it's never too late to start over again. It's never too late to get things right, but you just got to know what you want. What do you want to accomplish? What do you want to gain from the relationship? Where do you want this to go? Does that person like you for who you are? Do they accept you for who you are, flaws and all? Don't diminish yourself for anybody. Um, Make those goals, for yourself and make those goals and do a journal and make that list of, who you want to commit to in life and how and what type of characteristics you want this person to have. So I hope this helps you guys. We will be talking more about detoxing, you guys, and we're going to dive into as well as detoxing mentally and physically. We're going to be talking about health and wellness and how we have to be disciplined, just like we have to be disciplined in our health. We got to be disciplined in relationships. We got to be disciplined as a parent, right? Most of us that's out there that's parents, we got to be disciplined. We got to discipline our children, but we got to make sure that we do it in the correct way. We can't always do what somebody else do. We got to make sure that we're doing the right things for ourselves. So I hope this helps you guys. And thank you so much for joining me on the Live Stay True Committed podcast. We will be back with another episode. If you have any questions or feedback, please feel free to email us. And the email and links will be below. And I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.